can see my screen, please do let me know.
Yes, we can see a screen.
Yes, we
Okay,
can see us.
okay. So this is day two, week two of our session. And today we're looking at finding, reading, and synthesizing literature with AI. Like we said the previous session, AI doesn't come to replace you. AI doesn't come to think for you. AI comes to help you, give you some information, and you make your final decision. So AI should help students, that's you, another person, navigate evidence faster. The idea is about speed. It's not about replacement without replacing reading, judgment, or verification. So you have to still read, you have to still make the final judgment and verification, but then here AI is coming to give you speed, right? So first things first, what is today's promise is evidence, not shortcut. We are not trying to run away from um everything, maybe pick a shortcut, but we're trying to get evidence based on what we are finding. So by the end of today, we should be able to first find papers systematically, which I think most of you have already done based on the uh, exercise which was given. Two, we want to verify that those papers have the right title, the authors, DOI, database records before trusting them. And second, thirdly, we want to read these papers with some source grounding truths. So we want to use AI now, like use Notebook to interrogate a particular paper to know what that paper is talking about while tracing the claim back to the cited passages. And number four, we want to compare multiple papers. So when you're going to have multiple papers, you want to see, okay, what is the information that cuts across these papers that I have been able to find out, I've been able to get my hands on? Are they in totally staying in silo, or they have something that is connecting all of them? Maybe they have a particular methodology, they have a particular difficulty that all of them have noted, which maybe your paper has to work on. And we want to build a literature matrix. So we're converting these papers into structured evidence, like tables that can support later writing, So we are not writing literature review today, and we're not using AI to write the literature review today. It's helping us to figure out some structured evidence, especially in terms of table formats. And we can state the gaps carefully. So the core principle, AI can help you find patterns, but the papers must provide the evidence, right? The patterns could be there in the papers that AI will help you find, but the evidence must be provided, which is left for you now to read everything. Week one, we did how to think clearly with AI. Week two, we're going to read evidence. Week three, the study, and week four, write and review. So that's just like a small overview of the things that we're going to look at. Now, a literature review is not AI generated text. A lot of us fall into that shock where we tell AI to summarize these papers and write my literature review. Take my brain
We,
and do what you want to do. Don't ask me any questions. So the risk is it's going to do paper by paper summaries. It may give you unsupported transition, hidden hallucinations like we talked about, and then claims that are not traceable to any source. If you totally outsource your writing of literature review to AI. But now, if you want to look at a responsible use, which is on the right side, is what can AI do for you? Is to help you map what the papers actually show. So it's like giving you a mind map of a high level overview of, okay, this paper talks about this, that relates to this, that relates to this. And then it gives you an output of the themes, the contradictions, methods, limits, gaps, and verified source links. One thing that lots of times that researchers may do or make a mistake is pick a link that AI will generate and not verify it, thinking that AI is right. Like we said the other time, AI will hallucinate and think that maybe since this link looks nice, it may be useful. So the researchers rule, if it cannot be traced, if you cannot if I cannot trace the claim back to a paper, I do not use it. So anything that AI claims to say, anything that AI talks to you about, if you cannot trace it back to that paper, do not use it. Do not use it because AI is definitely going to hallucinate a couple of times. So this is the discipline literature review workflow. You get the concept, you search, you verify, you interrogate, and you have synthesis. So I'm going to go a bit fast so that we can go to practicals. So today's practical logic, the same evidence base can become a chart. So your paper, you can convert it into a chart, a mind map, a study guide, an audio overview, a comparison table, or a presentation. The academic claims still returns to the original source. Uh, skip this one. Okay. Discovery is not verification. What does discovery say? The process of finding possible papers. In business, you will hear leads and you will hear customers. Think about this discovery as finding potential. So leads are potential. Sources can come from Google Scholar, PubMed, Semantic Hub, Elicit, but notebook and notebook source discovery, reference list, supervisor, and database. But then when you discover these papers, they are not yet evidence for your work. You may find a paper, and AI might find you a paper that you think that paper may be relevant for your work, but you have to do your final verification. And that verification is the process of confirming that the paper exists, number one. The paper exists. I think most of us have already done that by downloading a paper. Secondly, is scholarly enough for your purpose. You will not want to go get a paper which it's not the references or the publication house is not strong. Maybe it's written in some paid publishing house where they don't care about authenticity, they care about money. And then it actually supports the claim that you want to make. Because at the end of the day, you want to make a particular claim and you want to make a claim that, okay, based on this paper, this is what I'm saying. So verification turns your lead into useful or into usable evidence. So treat every AI suggested reference as unverified until you check. We should keep that in mind. We should treat every AI suggested reference as unverified until we check. Now, this is a screen paper. This is how to screen paper before reading it deeply, which we're going to be using AI to do that. First, what's the exact title? Does it match the record? Does the author and the year match? Is the source or journal appropriate? Does the DOI resolve correctly? Does the abstract fit your study problem? Does the population that you're targeting, does it match your own? Is the setting under your context? The methodology, is the design and data analysis right for you? Findings, what it actually supports. Limitations, what it cannot prove. So the useful question is, what can this paper support and what can it not support? We're going to be using um, Notebook LM, or which was renamed recently to Gemini Notebook. It's a tool owned by Google for our source grounded AI workspace. And so, what is Notebook LM? Notebook LM is an AI. It's a notebook-based AI workspace where answers are grounded in the source you add or discover. So you are the one to give it the paper, and then it's going to take that paper and work or give you some guidance and give you some abstractions based on that. And why does it matter for research? So it keeps your evidence base visible. You upload the paper, it gets a citation, it gives you notes, and it generates you study aids that will help you to stay connected. The idea here is for you to have an abstract idea of, or to have an overview of that paper before you go and read it. Last thing, which is very important, the non-negotiable rule. You should use notebook outputs as entry points into the source, not substitute for reading the source. Entry point. I have an idea. Notebook has told me that this is what I should be expecting. It has prepared my mind, but it does not eliminate me from reading that paper. You have to read the paper, right? You have to read the paper. You don't skip the paper because notebook LM has told you one or two things. Always ensure you read the paper. So these are the features which we're going to have. The sources, you upload the document. You can have chart plus citations. You can have notes. You have mind maps, reports, audio, video, tables, quizzes or flashcards, and then finally slides or infographic. We'll see that better um, in the demonstration. So one paper interrogation prompts to a live model. How do we prompt it? What is the objective? You can ask when you have uploaded your paper that what problem is this study trying to address? One question. Give the research problem, objective, and motivation. You should cite the passages. Now, what is the method that you're going to use? You're going to explain the methodology under the design settings, participant sampling, data collection, all of those. I'm trying not to bore you all with lots of talks here. Now, if we look at the Notebook Studio, it has different interfaces, but it produces you the same evidence. Mind map, as we're going to see, its mind map is like different ideas and how they are connected to each other. Relationships, study guide, it helps you to structure how you're going to study. Reports briefing, audio overview. So it can literally generate an audio overview that explains a paper to you in a conversational mode. Video overview, similar thing, but now with a video. Flashcards. Flashcards and quizzes are going to test your understanding of what you've been able to read. So if you have read a paper and you're not sure if you've understood everything, you can go there, generate flashcards. So like it acts now as your interrogator to test your understanding of that paper. And in infographics, it can help you to communicate the terms in a visual manner. And in slide decks, it prepares you a source-backed presentation. Next one. So you move from one paper to the body of literature. Okay. So I think let's go to how we're going to use Notebook. So if you go, I'm going to send this link on the chat. Where's the chat? Please just indicate if you can still hear me, so I'm sure that I'm not talking alone.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So I've
Yes,
dropped
yes.
that. Great, thank you. So I've dropped that link, notebook.google.com. So when you open it, it's going to show you this interface, right? This is a totally blank notebook, and I can create a notebook. So notebook is like a notebook that you want to write something on it. So I can create a new notebook. So if you click on create new notebook, it's going to create us a notebook. Now we have to add the sources because this notebook doesn't know exactly what we are trying to do. On the left sidebar is where we have the sources, the materials, the documents. I took the liberty to download the two papers that were uploaded by Lizzie. So we're going to use those two papers to see what notebook can do for us. So this is the left side for the sources, the middle chat box where we can interact with with the sources that were uploaded, and then the right side is the studio. Now on the studio, these are the options that we have. We have audio overview. So audio overview, if you look at the hover effect, it says generate an AI podcast based on your sources. So it's we know podcast is like the thing that is it's trending now, and conversational on the conversations is the thing that really works a lot. So it's able to generate you a conversation between two persons about your topic. We have mind map. So you see mind map says generate an AI mind map based on your sources. Slide deck, generate an AI slide deck based on your sources. Excuse, and likewise. So I'm going to take add sources. So I can either add from the web, so I can put the link here, or I'm going to upload a file, or I put the link of a website, or I connect to my Google Drive, right? Or I copy, or I from a copy text. In that case, I copied it. So for now, I'm going to upload. These are the two papers that show one, two. Okay, one. Let me see. Yes, these are the two papers that I think. So these are the two papers that I got from Liz. Liz, just confirm these are your papers to be sure.
Yes, yes, those are the ones.
Great. Hope I don't get into trouble for taking your papers.
No worries.
Okay. So if we notice, we can always rename this notebook, right? If you come here, you can rename this notebook. You can call it paper one review. So on the top left, you can say papers, first set of papers review. Okay. It has already even given it a name. So this name, Women's Decision Making Roles in Kenya Political Pentecostal Leadership. And it gives us already an overview of what the article says. So I've already selected the two. So if I want to work only with one, I can uncheck this. So each time I'm working just with one. But in this case, I want to work with both. So it explains a brief of what the two papers are talking about. And then it gives us potential questions that we can ask. What barriers prevent women from reaching leadership in Kenya Pentecostalism? How does female leadership theory describe empathy in church governance? So you can now ask these papers more questions. Remember, we talked about the questions that you are trying to ask them is if we go back to our slides, where is it? Slides, where are you? Hey, where you at? Oops. Okay. I think I closed it. Okay. If we go back somewhere up here, let me pull that up so that we can see. So this is what we're looking at. Contradictions, methods, limits, gaps, and verify source link. These are things that we're looking at. What the paper actually shows, right? That's what we're looking at. Just wanted to pull this up. So let's start with mind map. Today is going to be more about using this tool. So let's start with mind map. So if we click on mind map, mind map says it has already selected the two sources. Maybe I don't want to have these two sources yet. I want to focus on the first paper. I'm going to uncheck this and confirm. So it's working now with one source. What should the topic be? Things to try. So these are suggestions. The mind map must be restricted to a specific source, the article. So
Martin,
already,
I think you're very fast though. Or are we
eh?
going to have a session to practice later?
Yes, yes. After this, we are going to have a
Ah,
session now.
okay. Because I think you're a bit fast.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I'm just the
Sorry.
one. I think maybe you can just like slow down a little bit.
Uh, okay, okay.
All right.
Breathe in, out. Yeah. Okay.
Please
So I
also
think
remember that there are odd models on the
yes,
group.
yes, ma. I will take that into consideration from now. Okay, so
Thank
what we
you.
want to do is we want to start with our mind map. Before that, do we understand how to import the sources, our papers? Yes, okay. I see thumbs up about importing our papers. So we've been able to import our papers. And we can check here or uncheck to say I want to work with these two papers now, or I want to work with just one, or I don't want to work with any paper. So you see, when I disable the two papers, it tells me that I cannot do any of these features because I am not referencing the paper yet. So if I check this, you will see that it enables it. But if I uncheck, it shows that there's no paper selected. So for you to be able to use Notebook, Notebook only works on a specific paper. So if I check on this, I will start with mind map. If we click on mind map, we can always change the sources here. I want to work mind map with the both papers, or I want to do a mind map just for the first paper. Maybe in this case, we have the first paper. So it gives us suggestions on things to try. If I start typing, you see it will go away, but I want us to read it together. It says things to try. The mind maps must be restricted to a specific source. We already have a source here, so it means we have check. The mind map was focused solely on the key concepts of quantum physics. It's not quantum physics, it's just an example here. So create a mind map to help me study World War One. We're going to use a very simple, uh, prompt here. We'll say create a mind map ex showing the main concepts of this paper. As simple as that, right? Create a mind map showing the main concepts of this paper. I tap on generate. I will give it some time. So it says generating mind map based on one source. So it's based on this one source that we checked. While it's doing that, we can also go to audio so that we save time, right? We go to audio so that we save time. Now it's asking you 4 things that it can do. What is the format? Do you want a deep dive, a brief, a critique, or a debate? So how do you want it to have that audio conversation with you, right? So, okay, nice. Our mind map is already done. So we're going to close this one and come to our mind map. So if you look at here, look at this here, we have our mind map. So let's click on our mind map and see what it gives us. Okay, so you can always expand the mind map by using this expand view. Just to be sure, are we together?
Yes, we're together.
Okay, so we have clicked on the
Although
mind map.
the letters are small.
Okay, are
I
you on
don't know whether
mobile?
there is a. No, I'm on the laptop, but
Okay, let me see if I can
they are
increase.
too small.
Okay, I'm sure if I open it, it should be better. Is it better now?
Yes, it's better now.
Okay, let me go back to the old way. So it says small, so you can always come on this expand view. So it's
No,
going to use
even the previous ones, all of them, the middle part
it's
and
small.
the left part, yeah, it's small. So
Okay,
maybe you can just
how
increase the
about now?
font a bit.
How about
Yes,
now?
better now.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay, great. So if we take on this expand, so it expands now. You see that it starts with women's engagement in church decision making. Um, Laikipia. I hope I pronounced it well. Forgive me for that if it's wrong. So it starts with research objective, theoretical framework, barriers to leadership, methodology, key findings, and recommendations. This is getting interesting. Now, with the greater than arrow, it tells us that we can expand, and with the less than arrow, it tells us that we can collapse. So if I collapse here, it brings everything back to 1. And if I expand, it expands everything. And I can also increase the size here as well as I can reduce the size. And I can expand everything and I can constrict everything. Or I can also download. So these are the various things that you can do here. Now let's go. If you see, I'm clicking and dragging around my page. So if I go to the research objective, what are these people trying to do? Or what is this paper trying to talk about? If I open it, it takes us to the research objective. 1, influence of participation. Second, levels of consultation. That's what the research objective is. And the voice in choosing leaders. If we come to the theoretical framework, we can go and notice that there is female leadership theory, empathy and humility, relational dynamics, collaborative approach. So as we go down, we see barriers to leadership Patriarchal norms. I think Liz talked about this very well, that it's a patriarchal norm. When you talk about leadership, is in church it's always about the men. Cultural obstacles, theological interpretation, structural obstacles, historical subordination, methodology that was used here. There was a quantitative descriptive design, there was a stratified random sampling, there were questionnaires, and there was a sample of 45 leaders. This is getting interesting. What were the key findings? Participation, consultation, voice incorporation. Now, under participation, what was it? Participation, you had a 60% agree importance. You had a gradual shift to inclusion. Consultation, 62% were excluded, and there was a lack of inclusive procedures. Voice incorporation. So you see that this goes, it breaks it into a mind map. If you go to recommendations, so they said gender inclusive policies, mentorship programs, leadership training, structural consultation mechanism. So as much as possible, you've been able to have this information. Now, if you decide, that, okay, I am interested in this methodology, I can close this and I come back to mind map, right? And I still go back to mind map. Where's the mind map again? I go to mind map. I say, please give me a detailed mind map uh, of the methodology, right? The methodology. So I was able to understand that, okay, there is from the previous mind map that we did, we're interested now in the methodology to be sure that this methodology is something that is relevant to our own research. So we're going to click on generate. So it doesn't eliminate the old one. If you look at it, it is still under here, right? The first mind map is still there. The second mind map is there. Now we go back to our audio. Let's leave mind map for a few minutes and we'll go to audio. Okay, now for audio, it's because they say customize audio overview. What is the format? A deep dive. What's a deep dive? A deep dive is simply a live conversation between two hosts, unpacking and connecting topics in your source. So these are two persons, in quote, sitting somewhere and discussing this paper so that you can understand what they are saying. If it's a brief is a bite-sized overview, a bite-sized overview to help you grasp the core ideas from the source. So excuse me, brief is, as the term goes, a brief overview. Critique, we said that AI can be your critique, it can be your helper, it can be your interrogator, whatever. So in this case, it's saying an expert review of your source, offering constructive feedbacks to help you improve your material. I always recommend that no matter what you do, you should always come and use this one. You should always come to critique so that critique can, I mean, we don't want AI to just agree with us always. Then the last part, a debate. A debate is a thoughtful debate between two hosts, eliminating different perspectives on your sources. Now, debate is going like, but what's the worst that can happen? How wild can this go? While critique is something is not right. It's the investigator. Debate is the curious one. What can we uncover from this? What can we debunk from this? But we're going to keep it, let's say, a deep dive. Okay. If we leave it on a deep dive, you can always change the language here. That's a nice thing. But it doesn't really support all languages. So you can have English, French, a couple of those others. But we're going to leave it at English. We can make it short. We can leave it at default. We can make it long. So we'll leave it at, let's put it short since we may not have a lot of time. Again, remember the part for selecting the sources. You can add the second paper, but we want to still focus on the first paper. Now, we suggestions. Suggest mentorship programs, discuss the cultural challenge. So you see that as you put your cursor there, it gives you potential topics that if I just press on tab, if I press on tab, it's just automatically going to complete that. Do you will notice? So I don't need to type it. Are we still there? Okay, great. So if you press on tab, it will, but I'm removing it back now. So these are options. Why 62% of women face inclusions from churches? Um, let's see which discuss the cultural challenge of women leadership with Pentecostal church system. Let's say I tap that. Why? So now we want a deep dive into explaining why 62% of women face exclusion from church discussions and want to keep it short, want to be in English. We'll take generate. So when we take generate, we'll see that it's been added to this our list here. So everything that we're generating is being kept here. So we'll go back now to our methodology mind map while it's generating the audio. So it says come back in a few minutes. We go to our mind map methodology. We open full screen. Now, methodology, women engagement in churches, research design patterns and paradigm. We can open it. Quantitative description and survey, target population 150 leaders. So you see now that at this point it has gone it has done a deeper dive specifically on methodology, and it's able to bring you an overview on the methodology that was used on this paper. You can always look at this data collection. Maybe you are focused on data collection, you can still go back and tell it to give you another mind map for data collection. What this will do to your brain is it will help those of us that sometimes hate reading to be able to have an idea of what the paper is talking about, so that by the time we start reading, our brains starts connecting the dots. The brain is a very powerful organ. When you just give it some level of inference and you start going deep, it will be like, oh yes, I saw that thing, I saw it. There's this thing in I don't know if it's also in health, but in computing it's called chunking. There is just a finite amount of information at a time that your brain can keep. So you're literally chunking your data and tell it, okay, understand this first two, and then afterwards we are going to understand this next one. That's the idea of the mind map. So I think we've talked a bit about mind map. Um, so okay, that's mind map. I'm sure our audio is done. Okay, audio is still processing. We go to flashcards while audio is generating. Before we come to video, flashcards. We take on flashcards. Do we want a standard, fewer flashcards? And what level should it be? Easy, medium, or hard? And if we put our cursor here, you see it still gives us the options. Research objectives, blah blah blah, whichever one. We can just hit on our tab. So the front is specific metrics percentage. The back is meaning of the data. So we're going to generate. I think our audio is okay. Our audio is still happening, so we can generate multiple of them at a go. Let's pick on video. Now, video is going to look now like a presentation, somebody literally doing a PowerPoint slide presentation explaining to you that paper, so that you don't have to go and read something that is really of no use. And it gives you styles. What style do you want? Uh, what style do you want? Do you want an anime? Do you want a watercolor, a retro paint, a heritage? Or you want to leave it to auto select? What do you want from it? And we're going to come down here. What should the video focus on? It's already giving you potentials: leadership barrier, church inclusion, gender research. I think we'll look at church inclusion. We pick church inclusion and we put our cursor here. We say for church inclusion, we say go zip on the church inclusion. Your prompt can be as long as short as long as possible, as short as possible, as specific as possible. So it's left for you. I'm not saying that this should be your prompt, I'm literally just showing you this exists. It's for you afterwards to go and explore the tool. So I do that. And let's see which one is done. Um, okay. Okay, the flashcard is done. So the audio is taking a bit longer and the video is taking a bit longer. So let's come to flashcards. We see how our flashcards look like. So these flashcards are questions. What was the specific geographic context of the study on women's engagement in Pentecostal church leadership? You can see the answer. So flashcards is, you click on it, it shows you the answer in the background. It's like, okay, let me test my mind and see if I've understood this paper. And if I click on it to explain, it will come now and write me the whole explanation on why it is this particular county in Kenya. So this is what it's actually doing. It's actually doing that for you. I can go now to say, okay, check, got it. What does the Maasai word Laikipia means? See the answer, vast plants with pasture. So it's more like, test me, let's see how this thing goes. Now, this is where we said that I should explain. This is it explaining to us. Flashcards. We'll go back to the studio and see what is done. Okay. Um, audio is done. Nice. Hopefully that we can be able to hear the audio, but the audio is done here, and the audio is a 4 minutes, 24 seconds audio dive. If I tap on play, I don't know if you both hear, but just let me know if you can hear it there.
Welcome to today's deep dive. We are getting into a really fascinating 2025.
Just to be sure, is somebody hearing the audio of this conversation?
Yes, academic study.
Yeah, it's a great.
Okay, so you get to listen. Let's just use less 1 minute and hear how the conversation goes.
Welcome to today's deep dive. We are getting into a really fascinating 2025 academic study today.
Yeah, it's a great one. We're looking at Pentecostal church leadership in Laikipia County, Kenya.
Right. And we're exploring this massive paradox. So for you listening, imagine being invited to a crucial board meeting, but your microphone is permanently muted.
You're in the room, but you have zero say.
Exactly. Vast majority of these congregations, yet the data shows 62% of them are totally excluded from key church consultations.
I think that's enough, right? So let's put our hands together for Notebook. Notebook is really smart. Yeah. So just imagine listening to this kind of a podcast. It gives you, okay, should I read this paper? You can put this while you're maybe cooking, you're doing the dishes, you're taking care of your children, or you're doing some other thing while you're listening to it, and you understand, okay, I think this paper is a good one for me to read. Let me go deep into it. Because as a researcher, you don't have time to risk reading and going through papers that have no use for you. So you want to reduce the time which you're going to spend or waste on reading papers that are not relevant. You can be doing anything. For me, most of the time, maybe I'm maybe doing the dishes, cooking, or I'm doing other things, and then this is playing in the background. So in my brain, okay, I'm trying to connect the dots, connecting the dot. Yes, this is a paper for me to read. I put it aside. Okay, I'm going to read this paper. We said that it does not eliminate you reading, right? It does not eliminate you reading. It simply helps you to make a decision fast enough whether you should read or not. Okay. Video is still loading. Let's see what we can do with quiz. Yes. So it can give us a quiz. You see, create 5 sample questions about 62% consultation. Maybe I can just say, create me 20 questions to get I understand the problem statement and context. of this paper. You may think that you've understood, but now you're asking it to create you 20 questions, and I will generate. And if you notice, video is still going on because video takes some time for it to process. We've talked about quiz, looked at flashcards. I'll leave reports and data table and infographics for you people to go and do your research on. So let's give it few minutes for this to. So there's an interactive process here for the audio. The audio. It's like you can join the chat.
Welcome to today's deep dive. We are getting.
Oh, hey there. How can we help?
Yes, so I'm trying to understand this. Can you tell me more about that 62%? Oh, okay. I'm supposed to allow visibility. Yeah. So can you tell me about that 62%?
Please, where did you click for the interactive session? I don't think I saw it.
Okay. So on the audio, you have this this thing, this hand, interactive mode. To be honest, I'd not known that there was an interactive mode. So it's now I'm seeing like, hey, they have added a new thing. So I'm also learning. So I'm sure this interactive mode should be something where you can be able to ask to literally for you to join the conversation. Let's just take a try. Let's give it a try and let's play.
Welcome to today's deep dive. We are getting into a really fascinating 2025 academic study today.
Yeah, it's a great one. We're looking at Pentecostal church leadership in Laikipia County, Kenya.
Right, and we're exploring this massive paradox. So for you listening.
Oh, hey there. How can we help?
Yeah, so what is the paradox about?
That is a fantastic question, and it really gets to the heart of the research we're looking at.
Yeah, thanks for jumping in. We love it when you keep us on our toes like that.
The paradox here is essentially a massive gap between the numbers and the actual power.
Right.
So do we see that the podcast was happening and I entered the podcast and told them that, hey, that thing you're talking about, paradox, I have no idea. So tell me about paradox. And then they stopped. They went to explain the paradox and then they're coming back to it. So yeah, exactly. It's it's crazy where AI, where AI is going to. Even some of us that are building around AI are also shocked by the thing that it brings to us. So let's go back to, let's see if the video is done. Okay, so the video is still in the process. So while this video is happening, I would suggest that we can install the Notebook LM app. So if you go to Play Store or App Store, that should be a task now while this the video is being
Have we
generated.
checked the quiz? I think the quiz is done.
Okay, the quiz is done. Oh, okay, Pentecostal quiz. Yes, quiz. Come on, bring it on. Let's see. Okay, so he has generated us 20 questions. Question one, what is the primary geographic focus of Dr. Catherine Munya's study on women's engagement in Pentecostal leadership? I think this should be this one, right? Laikipia County. We take it. Say, yes, that's right. The study specifically evaluates, so it doesn't just tell you it is the right answer, but it also gives you some information, some reasoning behind that. And once you're done, you can say, next question, please. Which theoretical framework did the author utilize to analyze women's engagement in decision making? Is it a transformational theory, Foucauldian discourse analysis, female leadership theory? Uh, which one? I think it's Seven's leadership theory.
Your leadership theory.
Ah, yay, we got it right. Oh, crap, not quite. We missed. Okay, it's female leadership theory. Okay, explains it. So that's so please on App Store search for Notebook LM. Notebook LM. Let me just try to Google Notebook LM on App Store so that we see the exact name on App Store. So you should, okay. So you're looking for Gemini, okay, Gemini Notebook. So if you go on App Store, you should be able to download this Gemini Notebook. And if this for Play Store, let me look for Play Store.
But is it a free version?
Yes, everything
Or
I'm
it's
using is free.
okay.
Yes, everything I'm using is free. Well, for notebook and for notebook, but my ChatGPT is pro. But the notebook LM is free. So just go to either Play Store, App Store, and look for Gemini Notebook.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you, sir. Yes, Gemini Notebook, so that you can always be maybe you're on the bus. The part that gets boring, you say, "Oh, Gemini, let's talk about something that's going to help my life." You know. Oh, SSH downloaded when it started. Awesome, great. So I think Google has to give me some small referral bonus for adding their number of downloads. Okay, let's see how far our video has gone. Well, video may take a while. Video takes quite longer. So, my dear people, my good people, this is Notebook LM can be used to do a lot of Gemini Notebook. Sorry, let me use the right name. Gemini Notebook is a very powerful tool that gives you an overview. It does not replace you reading the source. It does not replace you verifying that the sources from whatever they are speaking, because sometimes also in this audio conversation, they may hallucinate. It's still AI. It doesn't say that it is perfect. So whatever it says in the flashcards, whatever it says in the mind map, whatever it says in the video, it's still left for you to go and do more research to read and understand before you can use that paper. So on that note, we'll come to the end of today's session, and I encourage you all to really go explore notebook, the Gemini notebook, test it, the papers that you had downloaded, put the papers, test on one paper, check and add another paper, ask about comparison between those papers in the terms of maybe a mind map. You can even ask about comparison of the two papers. They should give the methodological comparison for the two papers. In fact, you can have as many papers as possible and you do cross comparison between those papers and you can do data tables. So with that, I would say that is the end of my session. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much, Martin. In fact, I don't know what to say. I'm super grateful for your time. I'm super grateful for the gift of knowledge. You have no idea how much this means to all of us. I mean, these are things that people actually do pay for, but you are here dashing out this knowledge for free. So thank you so much. I think I'm speaking on behalf of everyone that has joined this stage. I was on my toes. I kept going back and forth, trying to make sure that I was keeping tabs with everything that was being done. So thank you so much. I don't know if we're going to have a practical session because I think we need one. Maybe you can just give us a task and then we can split ourselves quickly into sessions again like last time. I don't know if you have the time for that, but that's up to you. Do you think you have some? Do you think you have like 30 minutes for this so that we can be able to quickly put in practice? Maybe we can use just a quiz, flashcard, and something that will not take time. I don't know if it's possible.
Yes, yes, yes. I would say let's do the mind maps, right? Let's explore the mind map concept since it's faster to generate as compared to audio or video. So we can split into the number of groups which you will decide, and then
Okay.
each group will pick one paper and then put on the platform on notebook, and then in fact be free to ask the kind of mind map that you want it to explain to you, and then after that we'll come back. Each group is going to present their mind map and then explain how they can maybe go deep into it. So feel free.
Okay, thank you so much. Before we go, I think Marita's hand is up.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Thank you very much, Martin. Thank you very much, Ada. I've been learning quite a lot. So my question is just, I see that some of the software requested for are still loading. So my question is, does the duration it takes depend on the internet speed, or does it depend on the length of time the AI the book's ability to synchronize everything and come up with our response, right? I don't know if the question makes sense, but I'm happy to expand further. Thank you.
Yeah, your question makes perfect sense. I cannot really exactly for certain say that this is the time, but I know that the length of the paper will definitely affect how much time it will take to generate. Like, and also if we take on audio overview, if you take long, it's definitely going to take you a longer time. Remember, we took short, and when we took short, it generated us a 4 minutes, not that. It generated us a 4 minutes, 24 seconds. Then just imagine now we're supposed to take mid default or long. So it means long may give us like a 9 minutes. So when you click on that, first of all, it does not just generate the audio. It first of all generates the conversation in form of text. Now, this is what happens in the background. It generates a conversation in the form of text, and then it does now text to audio, and then before now it combines all of the various audios now to give you the one final audio. That is the high level overview that happens. So depends on how heavy your paper is, depends on if you're taking it short or long, but I'm not very sure why this is taking this long. But while we're doing that, let me pull my some serious work there. Let me look at your notebook. I still keep typing notebook LM. I don't think I can forget about the old name. So try Gemini Notebook. So you may see other things that are done. So this was when I was doing my master's thesis. I had to research about deep learning poetry monitoring, two sources. Let me see if it has this one doesn't have a video. Nope. I want to see the one has a video.
I'm also very amazed by the fact that it gets to populate every other thing you had ever, like it still stores or keeps every other thing you've ever worked on.
Yeah.
Does it get to save on you? Because it may seem as though it's linked to your Google account in a way. I don't know if that's the case. Does it ever get saturated to a point where you need to add more space? Like, how does it work?
That's a very deep question.
Um,
It will hallucinate because there's this thing called context window. It has a finite amount of memory. So it when you're doing your work, don't put all of the papers on one notebook. You can create several notebooks to analyze different papers so that every conversation remains within a specific window. Okay, so I think this was a video one. Let me show you people.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that sounds like it's straight out of a spy movie, but it's actually at the very heart of building AI we can actually trust. We're talking about an unlikely alliance between the world of secrets and the world of sight. So, let's start with a really big question. We know AI can see the world around us, but can we truly trust what it's seeing?
So can we see and hear it?
yes.
Yeah, so this is not based on work we're doing. It's based on my own research I was doing with AI and cybersecurity when I was doing my MSc. So this is how it's going to go. If you look at it, it's like a PowerPoint presentation that the AI is doing to you, and everything, each of these things is created by the AI, not me. Everything, the various slides, everything is created by the AI. So I just wanted
This is where the vision.
I just wanted us to see, since the other one is still taking forever to load. Oh, okay, it's done. Great. So you see that it has an 8 minutes, 31 seconds. Dr. Ada, just give me 2 minutes. Let me play this so that we'll go to the breakout rooms. So let's see what it says.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something that's really complex, absolutely fascinating, and honestly, pretty misunderstood. We're talking about the dynamics of gender, representation, and actual power inside modern religious institutions. You know, we hear organizations all the time touting their diversity, right? They'll point to the sheer number of women in the room as a hard proof of equality. But is mere presence the same thing as power? Well, we're going to look at some groundbreaking new research that suggests there's a massive difference between the two. It creates what we can basically call the illusion of inclusion. It's a super vital question, isn't it? Does just being in the room actually mean you have a voice at the table? To answer that,
So this is the video that was generated, and nice thing is you can download this. You can always download it and use it offline. But we said that you don't totally trust it. You always have to go and read the papers. Don't just get excited about it and forget about reading your paper. So I think we can go to the breakout rooms. And the task is you pick one paper, you get the mind map, you go as deep as possible, and you let us know after the breakout room. I think it should be maximum 7 minutes for this task, or let's say 10 minutes, so that we can be able to have some people presenting.
I think Getle has a question before we go for the breakout. Please ask your question quickly.
Yes, please. Thank you, sir. I would like to know, you said we should not trust AI completely, but what if what it presents in the notebook and you go to the paper, for example, and notice that everything is in synchrony? Can you use what you are getting from the notebook summary to develop your paper without necessarily reading 100% the original, especially if the AI is doing the correct job?
Lies.
Thank you.
Lies. Don't do it. Please. Please don't do it. Don't allow AI to fool you. Don't. You will still read it. It's so smart, it can get 99% of the time right. But the one time that you will lose guard, it will form your hand. It will just leave you in the middle of the water, and then you're going to quote something and going to use that for reference, thinking that, oh, because it was right. And then boom, you find yourself in shock. So the idea is, if what it gave you, you go and read it, is good, that's very good. It means that like your prompt was good at that time, was performing very well. Over time, AI is going to become so good, but as of now, it's still very important that you verify, you read it yourself to be sure that, okay, whatever he has given is what you have read in the paper, then you can go ahead. But don't just trust it. If he has given you 99% of the time, maybe the 1% of the time is when you're going to see your supervisor and he gave you total bullshit. And you go to your supervisor is going to hold you and say, oh, you're not serious about this. Maybe you should come back for the next year. And we don't want that.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks so
Get like
much. So I'm going to split us into three main groups so that we can we don't eat so much time. Please, when I split the groups, go directly to your group. I beg you, don't hover around the main screen. Go down.
group one. Let's see what our amazing group one people have been able to do. Explain your process, explain your mind map, any new discovery that you made. Did you do audio? Can share your screen, please. Group one, over to you. Let's keep it in 2 minutes.
Please, let's make it snappy. Room one. Where does in room one? Please, can you share your screen?
If room one is not there, room two, can you go on? So catch up back with room one afterwards. Or who are those that are ready? Room
Yeah,
one,
I
two.
think Sulema, room two, I think we
Okay,
can
room
present.
two, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll do this ready. So, should I share my screen?
Yes, share your screen, please.
Yes, please.
All right. So can you see my screen? Hello.
Yes, we can see your screen. Please go ahead.
All right. So what we did as we have started is that we uploaded, we log into the notebook Google, and we uploaded to research work. And this research work it automatically gives you the name, that is neighborhood perception, social cohesion, and health in longitudinal studies. After that, then we move to the articles that in the notebook, and we start with the one that we can like make work of in a short time. So we start with the mind map. Within the mind map, we created a mind map. I don't know, like, where can I see my this? Yeah, this on my map, and it gives us like the whole framework in a simple contextual mind map here. You can say it. Come on, part, each of it, as you have said, is it will give the information, the details information on it, like here from the methodology. In the methodology, you see there is a 205 complete case participant, and it's a cross-sectional regression in which during the measurement, there are 3 variable tools that they use. So this is for the mind map. Then we move to flashcards and questions, the quiz. So we give us quiz. These are some of the questions we asked the AI to generate 10 questions so far. So among them, in the fully adjusted multivariable model of the study, quotation was found to have statistical significant association. So like these are the questions that the AI generated for us. We move to infograph and the time cutoff. So like these are the 3 tools that we use for the in the notebook Google. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. That's great. Please, let's jam the emojis, put the emojis together for group 2. That's great. It shows at least you've been able to master and know how to upload the sources or upload one or multiple sources, get the mind map. So, but now in the subsequent times, your mind map, your prompts for your mind map can become a bit more specific towards one thing after you've had the overview, because the overview will, yes, be good, but then you may want to specify deeper on what you specifically want to ask. So thank you very much, group 2. Group 3 or group 1? Who is going next? You can stop sharing.
All right,
Thank you.
group 1.
Group 1, yes.
I'm group 3 rather. I will share now.
Okay, group 3. Group 1, group 2, stop sharing.
All right, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, I'm coming. Wait. All right, we uploaded a paper, and this is based off of what we did in the first class. And one of the papers selected was working on cybersecurity, looking at the between national regulation and how municipality actually implement those regulations. So we're looking at the governance, multi-level governance aspect of it. So now, based on that paper, one of the paper I got was this municipal security, a survey of current research trend, and it's a secondary paper. So, and then I uploaded it, and this is what it brought. So based off of that, I don't know, I want to go back. We were able to generate 2 mind maps. Okay, so we're able to generate 2 mind maps. The first one we generated was to give us like an overview of the paper, to tell us, to give an overview of the paper. This was it 15 minutes ago. So, and then it talks about, gives us the research objective, what that paper is all about. When you click the research objective, you're able to get the identify state of the art of the local government, that is, what is the state of the current cybersecurity infrastructure in that in the local government, and then map out current research area and concern, identify research method used, propose area for future, and then the methodology used being a secondary research. It is a systematic mapping survey, and then it identified the databases that the papers were selected from, the keyword used in the string for searching, that is municipality and cybersecurity were the keywords used, the inclusion criteria, peer-reviewed journal articles, and then from between 2018 and 2021, and also the number of results they get, 627 initial results, and then 27 paper was finally selected, and then they also talk about the theoretical framework used, and then go further to explain what the theoretical framework means, what this entire theoretical framework means at the end of the day. Also, we have coming key findings. It also talks about the key findings. These are the key findings grouped into two thematic areas and methodology use. So these are some of the things, but this in its whole sense do not make sense if we have not read the. So I came back to this place and then I found something very interesting. We found something very interesting, and he spoke about something here. He said, despite the increased frequency of cybersecurity attack and more stringent legal regulation, regulation like GDPR, many municipalities struggle with limited technical capacity and inadequate fund. So we told it again to look for, to do like a mapping of what the struggle actually meant. So I'm coming. So we generated another prompt using the, okay, this is an audio. We generated another prompt and it mapped out the struggles. It said these are some of the struggles that the paper identified and from what sources it identified them from. So he said infrastructural complexity is one of the issue. So, and then it explained what it meant. Resource and capability gaps is another thing. They explain what it meant. Limited technical capability, limited organizational capability, woefully inadequate furnishing of responsibility and all like that. Diverse service requirements. So these are some of the things that the challenges that they are facing in terms of cybersecurity in that country, because it's a specific context. It is in a specific context. So now, also, this is another one. This is another struggle that we're able to identify. So when we come back here, we're able to read into what it actually meant, because this is just like a map as you explained earlier. And that's what we were able to do. Also, we were able to actually generate an audio, but we were not able to test it. So that was where we stopped.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Group 1. Yeah, I think Group 3. Thank you. I noticed that you did not just one mind map, you went deeper and then you generated a 25 minutes, 47 seconds deep. That's quite deep. So I'm sure when you listen to it, you'll be able to understand more. And I encourage you also try the interactive mode, right? When you're listening to it, try the interactive mode and see how you can question or get yourself inside the conversation of the podcast. Thank you very much. Let's go to Group 1 before we hand over to.
Oh, my apologies. I think we're Group 1. Sorry. So I think
okay.
I'll just share. But ideally, we went through the same. Let me try and share my screen. I think I need to stop sharing. Thank you. Apologies if this is something that's not related to this assignment. Okay, so we did the same procedure. We uploaded the documents. Sorry, we used the same document because that was what I had handy on my desktop. And we went through the mind map. I think we were more interested in just learning more how to use the mind map on our own time. And we asked it to do some sort of an analysis on ideally the whole methodological background. We wanted to know how the doctor actually did the methodological background, and this is what we found, which I think it's the same response that came out. But ideally, we just wanted to look at the methodology of that research paper, just to figure out how the different kind of methods the researcher used to kind of do the background research and then also data collection, and at the end kind of come up with a paper that was quite interesting. So we also were curious about the theoretical aspect of it, know what kind of theories were used, but the beauty is also you can just click on that theory and then it gives you, what that theory was all about. And what we appreciated was it kind of cites, kind of gives you more details on that particular theory, where it was cited from as per the document, etc., etc. So it's kind of expands more areas for you to deep dive in when you're trying to maybe cite when you're doing your own methodological theory of your paper, etc. Because you always have to find that perfect or almost near perfect paper to what you're looking at and then compare. So it was interesting to do that. And then we decided let's kind of just play around with the mind map a little bit. We were more interested in that because we realized it was our first time um, working with notebooks. So all of us, it was our first time, so we got a little bit excited, and we just wanted to focus more on that. Um, the analysis of the data, the research objective. This was just like we wanted to have a summarized version of how the paper kind of flowed. So we gave it that prompt, and it gave us how ideally the paper looked like, which of course for us it was quite interesting. We were discussing as we go, just to see what was fascinating and what we learned through the class, etc., etc. Um, we also did a blog post, but that was when we kind of got out of the room. So there's also a blog post we tried using, but ideally, which was quite good, knowing that you can actually have a blog post out of a particular paper. And there was a question that I'll kind of ask. We were curious about the aspect of uploading the resources. Does that mean we can upload as many resources and go through the analysis bit and select all? Let's say, for example, if you have 10 resources that you wanted to work with, when you're doing, let's say, your own paper and you have like 10 references and you want to see which one fits and which one you need to get rid of. So the question was, do we select all through here, like all 10, and then go through the mind ball and the deep dive, etc., etc.? So I think that was one of the questions I wanted to bring to the main group as we were concluding our bit of the research. But yeah, I think we got a hang of it. We were fascinated, and we are looking forward to just creating our own accounts and deep dive, getting more acquainted with the notebook itself from Gemini. I'll stop there.
Interesting. Please, let's celebrate this group and celebrate ourselves. This is really great. While we're doing this, let's not forget to submit the mentee map so that the Sakova can have enough information about how the sessions are going, your honest feedbacks. Thank you very much, Liz, for the presentation, going above and beyond. Also, that part of blog post, yes, it's you can turn AI into not just your research body, you can also turn it into your content creator body, because when you're doing this, when you're doing all of this work, it's important that you also position, this may be out of the topic of what we're doing, but it's also important that you position yourself in the public space, in the social media space, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. And when you review some of these papers, why not just write a small, short blog post about it? Okay, I was reviewing this paper and then I saw this and this and this, and you put it up there. It's you're positioning yourself so that tomorrow, maybe you're applying for some grants, you're applying for some opportunities, you're applying for a travel opportunity or a co author or something like that. It shows that when you are you have placed yourself as a tough leader, so that people don't just like I mean, they say the social media now is like your online CV. But if you don't put it out there, you are smart, yes. You have the skills, but who knows you? So maybe you can also take advantage of when you do a research, you can say, okay, maybe write me a small, short, 5 paragraph, 6 paragraph of blog post or of LinkedIn post, and then we take that post, you re-edit it, you make it to sound in your own words, and you post it on screenshot of the paper, you put it out there. It helps to boost your social stamina. So I think with that, I've come to the end of my session. Thank you so very much to all of you that have been able to make it today. I think today has been really, really exciting. This week has been exciting. I'm looking forward to next week. The tasks that will give is play around with notebook, generate audio, um, try out the interactive features, try out the questionnaires, the quiz, the flashcards, and the other things, so that you can be able to determine the paper that you should read and the paper that you should not read before reading them. Don't let AI replace your brain. The AI should just help you get faster. Thank you very much.
Please let's put our emojis for the teacher, because I don't know how to say thank you. I really don't know how to say thank you. These are courses that people actually pay tens of dollars for, and we're getting it for free. I mean, for free. So please show love. I want to say thank you so much, Engineer Martin. I mean, I really pray that when you need people to come at your own need, you will not lack them, because honestly, I don't know how to say thank you for this sacrifice of time, internet, and knowledge that people are giving out for hundreds of dollars. You've decided to bless us for free. So thank you so much. And just one thing before we close, please don't forget to fill the Mentimeter. And I just wanted to say something. While he was doing that, I actually tried out the video pad. For those of you that have already published articles, there are things we call video abstracts. And I discovered that because I was trying with a published paper of mine, and I discovered that they actually generated a video abstract. I'm going to be reviewing the video later. That's after the class, because I didn't want to get distracted during the class. Like, with 1 second of distraction, you're lost. You have to start asking, where are we, and all that. So I didn't want to distract myself. But definitely, what I'm going to be doing immediately we finish this class, I'm going to be checking out the video that I created to make sure that it has the right content. And if it does, trust me, this is a game changer, because in many journals, they require video abstracts. Also, that is one of the best way to market your articles. Most of us write articles and we leave them in the archives, meaning after it's published on the website, you just go dormant, you go in silo, in Communicado, and everything. But that is actually a good way to promote your article, because one of the core principles of Sankofa, mind you, is to be able to help us disseminate. That is advocacy. So research is one of the main arms, which is what we are currently doing. Mentorship is one, which is what we do on the side. But the third arm of Sankofa is advocacy, and you cannot advocate if you don't disseminate knowledge. So this is a great way to disseminate your findings, just doing a video abstract. And in our present generation, most of the Gen Zs and the younger folks don't like reading. So why not use the video part, Like he said, you could be cooking and somebody can easily watch a video abstract of what you're doing. So I don't know how to say, but thank you so much. I mean, I've never come across this app myself, and I'm so excited. I cannot wait for me to drop and then go and check out my video and see if it has everything that I needed. And also for those of you that are teachers, using the flashcards is an amazing way. You don't have to even stress the quizzes. So if I were you, I will not sleep on this class. I'm going to be sharing the recording shortly. Please go back and play around it, like he said. Try to do some few things on your own. And remember, the entire aim of this training is for Africa-centered research. So we want to see more Africans being researchers. We want to see more Africans generating knowledge. And that is exactly why we are here. And I'm hoping that after this, like the blog thing he spoke about, it's an amazing thing. I don't know how I can talk like I'm not tomorrow, because I'm really gingered. I'm really excited. So I'm not going to rub off my excitement on you guys. Please feel the Mentimeter. And I want to say thank you for today. Thank you for everything. And it's a happy weekend from my end. And I hope you don't miss next week, because it keeps getting interesting. So have a nice weekend, everyone, and God bless you.